I have some experience of, direct experience of how Western media works. I worked in BBC for more than 2 decades. And what will happen is that our English colleague will go there in India. He will stay in a top class hotel and invite some of the Indian journalists there. Everybody will go there, have evening, in a five-star hotel, having nice drink and dinner. And when this guy will come back after a week's trip of India, maybe for covering election or something, something, he will be treated as expert of India rather than somebody me who was born and brought up and was working for the same organization for 20 years. So an English colleague of mine having 1 week's trip in India becomes an expert of India. And if he goes next year to Pakistan, he becomes a Pakistan expert. If he goes to Burma, he becomes a Burma expert. So this is how Western media always works. Now, and then who they will meet? The secularist lobby, the Indian, the caste, and how dirty India is, how callous India is, how we are treating Dalits, and that sort of thing. So they will always come back with these images of, one of the very, kind of popular term that used to be in the 50s and 60s of Indian narrative was teeming millions, that we are crawling like, people. They will inevitably go to Victoria Terminus, stand on that bridge and put the camera there, and there you will see millions of people trying to wrestle and go into the train. That image I have seen at least 100 documentaries in the last 38 years I've been living in this country. This is a very common image in every documentary. The second place they will go to, Banaras, they will go to a Shamshan and find a sadhu who is smeared in the ash and sitting among the dead people. So these are the two images that are very prominent in India. But there is a deeper level of anti-Indian narrative, and this I realized only a couple of years ago when I started researching, going back to my discipline of history again. I joined a website called as academia.org. You have to pay a certain annual fee for that. And I did casteism in India. And these are the scholars in the universities of the world. And do you know what I found? I found more than 93,000 research papers written on casteism in India. And the narrative was this is a Brahminical society suppressing the poor, suppressing the Dalit and downtrodden. Then I started searching something, the casteism or Dalit oppression in ancient India. I found thousands and thousands of papers. Dalit oppression in modern India, I found thousands. And then one day I did Dalit oppression in Mughal India. Do you know how many papers I found? 0. Interestingly, when we write Indian history, the Dalits disappear for about 600 years, medieval time. Nobody's talking about Dalit oppression during those 600 years. Dalit oppression restarts when the British come, and it was always there in the ancient India. So this is how they are building up the narrative. And this is something very interesting. What is happening in Western universities are all these people who support Cameron and right-wing, Democratic and Republican and conservative governments in this country. All these scholars sitting in Western universities are in league with the kind of extreme left of our of Indian. So when it comes to India, they're extremely leftist. When it is about Britain, they are extremely rightist. So this is how deep the malaise is, and now how to counter it. And here I will blame our own people. We have done very little. We have done really, really little. In fact, the saddest part is we just even, I have seen Hindus fighting on the name of Hinduism. But I have seen really, really bitter debate. They say, no, this is the Sanatan Dharma. Other will say this is Vedic Dharma. Other will say this is Hindu Dharma. If we can't agree on our name, what kind of narrative we are going to set? So what I have to say is that, look, we are against a very uphill. It's a very, very difficult and it's a long-term struggle. We should start creating narrative now. This is the age of internet. We are not on the mercy of half a dozen national editors. We could write our own blog. We can start website very cheaply. We can create videos. So this is the age of creating narrative. Narrative is really, really democratized now. we just cannot blame others that they are distorting our narrative. This is the time that we should start creating our narrative. That's the only way. I don't know what is the other way. We just can't, be waiting for a great politician to come and open the floodgates so that our narrative flows. No, it's not going to happen. It's a hard work. It's a difficult work. It's a long work. We have to put our heads together and start working now.